Cool.
Here we go. And welcome everyone to another exciting channeling session with Starseed Lolo. I just want to say, on behalf of the show, we apologize for the delay. There were a few little hiccups in getting some stuff done, and so that aside, we are now ready to go, and we are ready to start when you are, Starseed.
All right. I apologize to everyone. It's actually on me, not on Michael here. So I'm going to get into it, and we will still do 30 minutes if you're okay for that, Michael.
I am.
All right. Let's do it. I'm going to make it a little bit darker so that I can see lights. My eyes are closed. All right. Gaia and Orion reptilian collectives, also known as the lizard people here on Earth, energies are here.
Welcome to the lizard people.
Thank you.
Do you have a special topic that you'd like to talk with us today about?
Yes. Chaotic environments seemingly outside of you, although there is nothing outside of you. Therefore, shifting to the frequential energy and keeping and holding the highest frequential energy which you can in every possible moment, and knowing that the circumstances don't matter. Your frequency matters and what you do with it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Do you have any advice for how we can keep these outside chaotic energies from getting into our systems and into our energies?
Such as, how do you keep your frequencies high even though it seems that there's chaos on the outside?
Yes.
Depends on the person. However, going to what you enjoy doing in every given moment is normally the best course of action. From moment to moment to moment to moment, do what you love because you are love and you are a source. Knowing, strongly knowing, this is not just a clairsentient, this is just a fact of the universe and energy itself, knowing that everything happens for your benefit. Therefore, if you focus on something which is not for your benefit, then that is what the universe is going to keep giving you. In the entanglement, you are telling the universe this is what you want. For example, if you had a near miss on an accident or a car accident, you should be happy because you have the near miss because you chose the higher road and the higher frequential option, if that makes sense.
It does, actually.
Remember, almost doesn't count. However, it's a pat on your back because that means that you were in a higher frequential energy state and have chosen to continue in this life form, in this experience, from this perspective, because you are actually all life forms and all perspectives.
Thank you. I am curious with dealing with the chaotic energies, if we were to, in turn, like an example is on the last session, we were talking with the jovial mantis and ant people about partying and celebrating. Is that something you feel would help disperse and keep us from getting caught up in the chaotic energies?
Yes, of course. Any celebrations, even by yourself, if you are singing and dancing in your car, in your house, it can be even a party of one, because really source is a party of one. However, there is also strength in numbers. Any celebration, any time that you compliment someone, that is a celebration. You are giving somebody, so to speak, white magic when you compliment them. You're giving them direct love when you compliment them. Therefore, we hear and see you, Michael and Laura, doing this a lot. And it makes people feel good. It's a mini moment of celebration. And it doesn't cost anything to be nice. It also doesn't cost anything to give a compliment. So it can be some subtle, even just leaving the store, smiling and thanking a worker. You might have made their day because maybe 50 people walked past them and didn't say a word to them.
Yes, thank you. I feel that too. And so thank you for that.
However, if you'd like to throw what you call a party, please define party because party is in the eye of the beholder, the person throwing the party. Are you talking music? Are you talking multiple friends? Are you talking going to an event? Or it can be a digital event, such as conferences, and done this way because humans are now in global electronic contact, digital contact rather than analog contact with each other. And more humans than not nowadays digitally have friends. As this one has a friend in Ohio and she's in Florida, she calls it her pocket bestie because the bestie's in her pocket.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't thought about it that way. We just talk in generics here. And so I would say in specifics, I would say with music and either in a group or by ourselves, but just lifting ourselves up.
That's correct. The jovial mantis have spoken and said you can get up and do jumping jacks very quickly to get your heart pumping. And it doesn't have to be 500, it can be five. Just something to get your heart moving and your spirits quickly lifted. There's a few different ways you could do that. You can do that with sexual energy. We will not fill in the blanks. You know what that means. You can do that with physical energy, non sexual energy, such as exercising, even doing a 5 jumping jacks or taking a walk to your mailbox. You could quickly raise your frequency as well by doing other things which you love. It can be a hobby, it can be cooking, it can be cleaning. You can make anything fun, actually. Anytime you have these higher frequencies, you can have fun. One way of doing that is to play musical instruments or singing in the background. You have what you call devices. Use these devices to play the music or play a YouTube video of something which you enjoy, which you are learning from as you clean, as you cook, and your life becomes much richer when you do things like that. Car drive, hear an audiobook from a subject that you love to learn from. All of these kinds of things are smallish things that you can do throughout your day to make it much brighter.
Very true. And if I may, I'm curious how do lizard people celebrate? And do they have particular musics that they enjoy?
We love to eat, and we love to eat and feast of a community feast generally. However, we can have a feast of one as well. And yes, we do have music. We have synthetic meats, which we make, which are better nutrition than even regular meats and taste better. And we also do have wines and spirits that we make and have replicator machines that make these items. Our musics vary from using instruments such as violins, another instrument, which is a floating piano. Yes, we said floating piano. It is more almost like a hologram that you punch into the keys and notes. And we do have more than the 12 harmonics known to Earth. We have more of a 16 scale, which is a little more developed, a little bit more different notes, in depth, a combination of notes in the 16th harmonic versus 12th harmonic.
That's very interesting. Thank you. And I'm enjoying learning the different instruments, like the jovial mantis, like banjo, and you all like violin and floating pianos. That is really cool to know because that just is something I don't think a lot of people think about.
That's correct. As Nikola Tesla was very, 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 very correct in saying about the universe being frequencies and sounds and colors. Frequencies are sounds, sounds are colors, colors are the universe. It is energy in motion. When you hear something, it is an echo that is reverb forever in infinite universes.
Interesting. And one thing I like to ask is we have seen lizard people in cartoons in the old days and reference to them in shows. Was that your choice to start the disclosure process that way? Or did someone just stumble upon you all and say, hey, we're going to put this out there and you're now known?
Anytime any information that is quote unquote leaked, which is accurate or somewhat accurate, is because that person is a starseed in connection and has an iteration of themselves that is coming through to this lifetime in this life form because there is a need to. Therefore, anyone who has drawn pictures of us in comic books and as a scary lizard man or woman has just in slight been correct in very slight reference because they have an iteration of themselves that are inner earth reptilians or reptoids from, as you say, outer space or Orion. Therefore, it's about 1% accurate. We do actually wear what you would call a space suit because most of the time they like to show us naked in these comics and very scary, eating babies and whatnot. Like we said, we now eat synthetic meat. We have technologies that provide better proteins for us now. So we hope this helps.
Yes, thank you. And I'm curious, do you have a world that you call like a home world, or are you primarily inner Earth here on our planet or underwater?
This collective, which are referred to as the lizard people, which we have adopted as a nickname, is referring into Gaia collective, or as you would say, an interdimensional inner earth being. We use the lizard people so it cannot be used against us, such as Lolo here uses the word witch. She's actually a healer, misinformed, being called as a witch. However, since it's not going to be used against her, she embraces the word witch. We also embrace those words lizard people because it is not really a much understanding of what a fourth to fifth dimensional lizard person is. We have portals, therefore we can be quote unquote anywhere at any time. We do have affection in the Orion constellation, being that there are 80 plus planets and too many moons to count. However, you are speaking to the collective of the lizard people here, meaning your planet. And if their Orion collection needs to tap in, they will.
Thank you for that. And since you traveled through portals, and through energy, I would venture to say you don't need a spacecraft to travel around inner Earth or outside of our atmosphere.
Correct. Astute student here. We do not have to have a craft, quote unquote, and we do use the portals and can be to Mars, as you say, the moon, and the Orion constellation just by using frequential energy that is consciousness controlled.
Thank you for that.
Welcome.
If I may ask, the Jovial Mantis mentioned they are here as healers. Do you have a role that you view here that is for your collective, or are you here strictly gathering information and just watching how we unfold?
Like any corner of the universe, any being is welcome to be in that space because it is not an all or nothing and does not belong to any one being or tribe or species, so to speak. Rather, it belongs to us all. Therefore, we don't see being inner earth beings as an invasion because we have been here, quote unquote, under Mount Shasta and various tunnels. Yes, with the ant people, because they love underground as well, and other inner earth beings, such as Lemurians and others, which we were told not to disclose or discuss for hundreds of thousands of years. And we have seen Homo sapiens genetically be modified, as you say, from basically a Sasquatch to what you are now. So we have as much right to be here as anyone else or any other being, because there's no such thing as owning space or property, no matter what you're taught.
I agree, and we welcome you. So thank you.
Welcome.
As you've been watching our history, one question that comes to mind that is hotly discussed around our world is the world of Atlantis more so than Lemuria. And so, can you shed some light on what happened with Atlantis?
Yes. Lolo, actually, her book, The Entanglement, Planet X and Mars, is about this. And she did an audiobook first, so anybody can just quickly listen for an hour and a half and don't even have to read and they can turn on their phone. However, there is a reptoid faction that went through portals and Mars was affected, which still shows the signature of atom bombs, and planet Tiamat was destroyed. This nearby water planet acted as an anchor, like a moon, in between Earth and Mars. There was no asteroid belt at that point, and the destruction happened. It was a faction of reptoids, distant cousins of ours. This was something that had to be done as a reset because the Atlantean Empire was quote unquote out of control, just like the Cabal is getting out of control in this version of Gaia.
Yes, and I think I know what you're referring to, and so I'll leave it at that for right now. Do you have a favorite time period or culture on our world that you enjoy watching more than others?
We always enjoy the present moment. However, we would say our second favorite is ancient Egypt until the time of Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, roughly from 10,000, what you would say 10,000 BC in linear years until 485 BC in linear years. We just really enjoy this time frame with the ancient mystery schools, the technology, the crystal highway with free energy, which is coming back.
Are you going to help us with bringing this back, or is this something we need to bring back on our own to help you all be welcomed back on the surface, so to speak?
It's always going to be both because every star being is a reflection of the human and vice versa. Via sharing oversouls filter down through your higher self, you get what you call ideas. As long as you act on those ideas, the free energy will be exposed again.
And talking about the star seeds, do you all take part in what we call the hybrid program, or is that something you opted out of?
Both. It depends on the needs and the choices of the reptoids, since there are millions of us on various planets, which you do and do not know of. However, specifically the Gaia faction does have a unit section that specifically does work in the hybrid programs, more so to bring awareness, to help with the energies, to help the Greys and the Mantis when they are harvesting DNAs. These harvested DNAs, again, have brought to humans as a sixth race. Actually, the hybrids that are half Greys and half human are the fifth race. So because of this hybridization agenda, you are the best version of you.
Well, thank you for that. With we tend to look at species on our planets and put them into collective, so to speak, like the mammals, reptiles, and such. Dragons is one species that I think is a lot of people have a lot of different views of being positive or harmful because of how history has portrayed them. Are dragons more closely related with your culture or a different reptile or reptoid faction?
Yes and no. Millions of years ago, closer to the Orion War times, Alpha Draconis, which is roughly an origin word of dragon or Draco, is a faction of a species of reptoids and reptilians. And they are distant cousins of us both, closer in us and our DNAs.
And with that, is that why a lot of people are starting to awaken the dragon energy within them and finding out that it's like a healing factor and kind of a protection as well?
Yes, and to answer your former question, Alpha Draconis dragon energy is not so much about being negative or positive or benevolent or malevolent, but like you're saying now, more of a almost like a Kundalini energy, almost activation, because the serpent eating itself in a circle signifies immortality. Therefore, the immortality, the experience of awakening the immortality, it cannot be awakened because you are immortal as a soul. However, the experience of feeling like you are awakening it in this body experience, yes, that is happening. And it is your choice if you want to have that experience. Therefore, the ones who are having that experience do coincide with dragon energy because of fire, because of passion, because of self love, because of eternal immortality. Again, the serpent eating its tail.
So, beyond us keeping our energies up and rising above the chaotic energies, is there anything we can do to help you where you are?
What you can always do for the universe is to be yourself. Your purpose is to be you in your highest frequential state that you can be. Of course, if you choose another option, such as being incarcerated or something like that, that is also an experience. We come from a place of unconditional love. Everyone has a different experience. Even identical twins have totally different experiences, even though they quote unquote have the same exact DNA, as you say. And we do not judge. Everything happens for a reason. If you keep your frequency state high, then miracles will happen, as you say, in your dreams, in your wildest dreams will happen because you are painting that beautiful picture and you are constantly projecting like a projector screen filtered through your consciousness, your perspective. Therefore, what movie do you want to play today in this moment? Because there's only the present moment. That is up to you.
Thank you. And you mentioned Mount Shasta, and that has been coming up a lot for me lately. And so, is it in a way calling me home, so to speak? Is there a part of me that's there that's ready to come home and reunify and become a part of me again?
Some Lemurian energy. Do you have a Lemurian crystal and have you ever visited there?
Not in this lifetime, but I have visited in the past.
You might want to look into a Lemurian crystal to harness that energy. If you can make a trip there, that is fine as well. However, not necessary in this life. Just harvesting a Lemurian crystal straight from a crystal mine, a pure one, not from a bazaar or a flea market, have you? A pure one directly from a crystal mine. We believe some of them best ones are in Brazil, from Brazil, places like that. They are not cheap. Therefore, if you get a very small Lemurian crystal, it does not matter the size. It just matters that it's pure foreign energy. And you can have this reconnection that you seek of the Lemurian energy from the Lemurian crystal portal just by mere touching it. And you do not have to have your physical body in Mount Shasta, no. This one, she has gone to Mount Shasta driving past it her whole life because her mom is from Oregon and she lived in California. However, she didn't visit it till she was an adult after realizing spiritual awakening, and she's gone a few times. And the mountain is magical. It's roughly 14,198 feet up high. It literally looks like you're in another dimension, like you have a vivid filter on because the air is so pure and clean and reminds her of Alaska, where she was stationed at in the Air Force years ago. It is so beautiful and not like any other mountain. It's special. She's seen Mount Denali, which is the largest mountain in North America. You could see it about 100 miles away. She has a connection to Mount Shasta, Lemurian as well. No, she does not have a Lemurian crystal. We're telling her to get one right now, too. She says, oh, no, not another crystal. We're saying, oh, yes, because Lemurian is different.
Yes, and we do live in a culture of collecting crystals, and so I get where Laura's coming from. And is there any message that you feel you haven't shared for Laura and I and for the collective?
A lot of times we sound repetitive. However, we do love you all very much because you are another version of us. You are a reflection of us. We are a reflection of you. What does this mean? Unconditional. We don't care who you are. We unconditionally love you. And we would love humanity to practice the same ways in not having judgment of others. That is all.
We're trying. Can you describe before, if you have time, and I know time is not a measurable unit like it is here for us, for you, but can you describe your environment and where your collective is, what it's like there?
There is relative term. When we have a body, we do have inner earth, interdimensional portals that lead to cities. We have crystal cities with high technologies, free energy, food replicators, consciousness controlled environments, chambers that we can go in and experience another body, another reality. Most people are experiencing another body or reality because it's ultimate virtual reality most of the time without having to have the physical body, however, experiencing it like it is physical. It is like almost like a deep undercover simulation.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, I would like to say to you from our heart, Laura and I, to you and your collective, thank you for coming and sharing with us. And thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you for what you're doing. You heal humanity with every word and every intention. Until next time.
Until next time. And if you could help Laura back.
Oh, interesting.
All right. Any last thoughts for you, Laura?
No, it's just the energy was coming through very slow for me because it's a new collective. Not all reptilians are the same. And so these were the inner earth ones mostly. They were very familiar, I think, because they're here with us, so to speak, just interdimensional. And so it was just interesting to feel like kindred spirits or like they're our neighbor, or almost like a pet, if that makes sense.
It does. It was like a really relaxed conversation. I kind of, when they first came through, I was like, ooh, I better have my guard up because I'm not sure where we're going. And then it was like, just kind of was like, nah, not really needed. We're having a fun, and we got to talk about partying a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that they just encourage unconditional love, and you can have a party of one, even if you're, just jamming out or whatever.
Yeah. Which, if I do, I turn on your music.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So I'll just keep it coming and make more new ones.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. And again, we do apologize for the late start. But however, I feel like even though we started late, it happened in the right time. So everyone got to enjoy it. And so thank you all for joining us. And stay tuned because we will be posting up shorts that go along with this episode. So do check those out and feel free to comment on those. And um, I'm looking forward to the next episode, and I know Laura is too. Do you have anything you want to promote out real quick, Laura, before we go?
Just that June 15th, I have an EP album called the Starseed Template dropping on all music platforms. That's all.
All right. Well, with that being said, have a wonderful rest of the May month, and we will see you all in 2 weeks in June. So
Yeah.
have fun, everyone. We'll see you shortly. Bye.
Bye.